Porta potty is right over there. All right, there's been a lot of talk among Dems about misinformation and disinformation, basically any sort of information that doesn't help a Democrat get elected, also known as the truth. In the eyes of the Dems, the story of Hunter's abandoned laptop had to be misinformation because it threatened Joe Biden's candidacy. So they manipulated social media to quash the story. They suspended and banned anybody who talked about it. They called it Russian disinformation, and it worked. And they got the result they wanted, a reject from a Balance of Nature ad in the White House. But that wasn't enough, especially now that Elon Musk has bought their favorite toy, Twitter, and turned it into something called X. So now Musk must be stopped. Enter Media Matters. On Friday, they put out a report saying Nazi content ran on the app alongside corporate ads from major companies like IBM, Apple, and Oracle. And so a bunch of companies then suspended their ads on X. But now Musk is suing Media Matters, saying they manufactured the report. Apparently, these companies were duped, like someone who bought Girl Scout cookies from Dylan Mulvaney. Be happy that's all you bought. But before we go any further, we should clarify what Media Matters really is, in case you don't know. See, they're this left-wing group funded by wealthy leftists while dishonestly positioning themselves as an impartial media watchdog. But the only part of that title that's true is the dog part, because they make Chris Cuomo interviewing his brother seem impartial. Those were the days. So why is this important? Because the mainstream media uses Media Matters knowing that the public has no idea what it is, and they won't bother to check that it's a front to silence people, specifically conservatives. But there's really only one entity that's worse than Media Matters. It's the orbit of parasitic blogs. Mediaite, The Daily Beast, The Independent, Huffington Post, CNN's reliable sources who grab the Media Matters stories, add a few words to avoid plagiarism, and then repost them. They lie by telling only part of the truth. You know, it's like when Joe Mackey says he ate at a food truck and it turns out to be an ice cream truck. This amplified universe of lazy hacks feeds off one bowl of outrage kibble. And because Fox is its target, we've kept more clowns employed than Barnum Bailey. FNC might as well cut checks to these ass polyps directly. It's kept Brian Stelter floating in a sea of Twinkies and the Daily Beast from going back to their old jobs making lattes. So what did Media Matters do this time? Well, according to the lawsuit, first Media Matters went on X and followed a small subset of users from one of two categories, those who post fringe content and big-name advertisers. Then they kept refreshing the hand-selected feed until it got the result that it wanted, controversial content next to paid posts from X's largest advertisers. Then they took screenshots of it, claimed it was organic, and published an article about it. And this quickly panicked the cowardly advertisers, including IBM, Apple, Disney, Warner Brothers, and Paramount. And so they fled like women when Keith Olbermann asked for their number. It's worth pointing out that some real journalists, Michael Schellenberger and his team at Public, tried to replicate Media Matters research, and they couldn't. So these advertisers fell for the ruse because they're too scared and lazy to take a stand. Those company stockholders should be pissed, and those companies should be embarrassed for pulling their ads based on made-up horse. If you acted on what Media Matters told you, you should be fired. Taking directions from them on anything related to speech is like learning to freestyle rap from Joe Biden. So now Musk is hitting Media Matters with, quote, a thermonuclear lawsuit for the fraudulent attack. But that's not all. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's opening an investigation saying he's extremely troubled by these allegations. And Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is also joining the fight, promising Musk he's investigating Media Matters as well. So why is this important? Because Media Matters is a hard-left smear machine, yet it's one coddled by the press who use that content to build their own crap. You may not have heard of Media Matters until today, but you could bet your liberal pals read their stuff regularly. Since CNN hacks like Stelter and Oliver Darcy rely on their fodder, they simply called the outfit a watchdog group. Media Matters became their necessary but brain-damaged henchman, a stupid, careless brute that does the dirty work that these lazy saps won't do. So Media Matters, assuming they could get away with it, went after the richest, most capable man on earth, one with deeper pockets than most countries. But like Hamas, they went too far. And now you see the hacks circling the wagons. So why did Media Matters go after Musk in the first place? Because he's a threat by caring only about the freedom of the press, which is exposing how vile these leftists are. So they need to take him out. Right now, leftists are taking to the streets of America, chanting anti-Semitic hate, tearing down posters of Jewish hostages. Mainstream media repeats the lies of Hamas while second-guessing everything Israel says and does. When Jews are being barricaded inside college classrooms, I don't see any Trump hats. If anybody's acting like Nazis, it's the left, i.e., Media Matters' own team. So they're doing what Nazis do, meaning they'll do anything to destroy an enemy, even when what they call the enemy is actually their own country. So I am so here for this, and you should be too, because it's about time somebody exposes Media Matters until they don't matter anymore. And although I'm no legal scholar, my money is on the guy who builds rockets, not lies. Welcome, tonight's guest. Just like cranberry sauce, he retains the shape of his container. Comedian Joe Mackey. Her play-by-play will make your day. Outkick host Charlie Arnold. Nothing to him is off limits, except maybe a barber. Comedian and author of That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore, Lou Perez. And finally, I think he once sold me a set of encyclopedias. Fox News contributor Tom Shalhoub. Joe, excellent choice of outerwear. That's a classic members-only jacket, is it not?
It is, Greg. It's they don't just sell these to anyone. You have to be pretty hot and cool and relevant.
You actually have to be a member, don't you?
Yes,
you have to be a member to own that.
They won't just sell it to anyone.
No, they won't. I want to read you a question that was written for me by one of the writers. Joe, do you think if Media Matters tried to cancel you, maybe one or two people might come to your shows? I did not write that.
Well, if they do cancel me, Greg, I hope that they mention in the article that I'm performing at the St. Louis Funny Bone November 24th through 26th. But I'll tell you what, Media Matters is following the same old liberal script. It's not the first time someone's done this. The CDC laundered information for the teachers union. Stanford laundered information for the Department of Homeland Security with their election integrity partnership. It's a brilliant idea, and I use it when I used to be a player.
Yeah.
Like I would have my wingman say something to the ladies to impress them, and it wouldn't come from me and sound like I was bragging, but I'll tell you what, it backfired.
Why?
Because the last thing women want to hear from one of my male friends is the phrase, "Take it from me, Joe Mackey's great at sex."
So you say you used to be a player. I guess it's...
Those days are behind me, Greg.
So you have a Twitch. Okay. Charlie, were you, before you started doing Fox, were you aware of Media Matters? Did you know what they did?
Yeah, I would see their name in different publications. I would never pay too much attention to it because it was just often quoted, like you mentioned. There's so many different news outlets that'll take their information, maybe attribute them, maybe just add a couple of extra words. But since getting here, Greg, I have personally been victimized by Media Matters on multiple occasions.
Yes, exactly.
As I'm sure you have as well.
I think they have a dossier of me going back to 2007.
Yeah, it's constant. But like you said, anything that they deem that will not help their cause is labeled as mis or disinformation. And I think that Elon Musk knows this all too well, which is the reason why he purchased Twitter, now known as X, in the very first place. He wanted to restore free speech. And I think that from the get-go, we saw school marms in the government, in society, from all different walks of life, attacking him instantly.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the same script being, taken out at this very stage in his ownership. And it's really sad, but at least Ken Paxton and some other attorney generals are at least trying to investigate Media Matters to turn the tides, if you will. But I will say that conservatives, there's one thing they are used to, and that's losing. They've been losing a lot of things recently. That's their basic liberties, free speech being one of them. They're losing their country to illegals. They're losing their government to communists. They're losing culture to the filth of society. So something needs to stop the skid, and I hope, like you mentioned, that it's Elon's thermonuclear attack.
One day, Joe, you will lose your virginity.
Oh, Greg, you can't.
I couldn't resist it. It's a jacket. Lou, I am very excited over this because this dude is the richest man on earth. So he's just going to run Media Matters into the ground, I would hope.
Well, I mean, he did say thermonuclear, and he is a rocket guy, as you talked about earlier. So, you know, I just hope that I'm here next week. Yeah. Because if things blow up that much, it might be a little nuts. But it is interesting because I noticed the trend when I was on X. Anytime I would put in white genocide, I would see an ad for Blue Chew. Which I don't know if you guys are familiar with. It's like the updated Cialis,
right?
You know, so it's like, oh, well, obviously a Nazi would want, you know, something to help him take care of business in order to, you know, repopulate the earth. So, I don't know. It worked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it worked. There you go.
Media Matters. It worked. You got me, man.
I have less respect for the people that use Media Matters than Media Matters. You know what I mean? At least they do, like they might have an office that they go to, but everybody that uses Media Matters are just lazy hacks.
Would you ever think about, like, there's an agent right now from Media Matters assigned to you?
Oh, definitely.
Every single thing that you do, like he's going through your garbage, you know, anything that he can find.
Well, they'll put some verbatim on their site. Like, they will listen to your whole segment. Everything that came out of your mouth will be verbatim.
That's not bad, though, because that's not, I mean, if it's not out of context, verbatim is better than, what's the opposite?
Twisting your words.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. So I don't mind. I actually don't mind it when people take my words. Yeah. It's just that they will put it within something else to make it sound like you did something different. I don't know. Yeah. Lou, nothing.
Yeah. I might have to rewrite this whole segment to put different words into my mouth to make me sound a lot better than I do right now.
Tommy, as the whitest guy I know. Do you mind appearing next to controversial stuff?
You know, Media Matters has a dossier on me as well, Greg.
Yes.
It's not as long as yours, but when I do show up in it, and, you know, I just feel loved. I'm like, oh, you guys I still matter to you? I think it's great. But Media Matters has been committing fraud every morning for the past 15 years. I mean, that's the way they do business. And you're right, it's the lazy journalists who write their press releases verbatim, and, you know, they're the ones that are really to blame. It's like, you know, it used to be that people would lie in politics. The rules of politics, when you're running against someone, you can lie, and people are like, oh, well, he's a politician, he can lie. So they would hire these opposition research firms to do their dirty work for them. Media Matters is an opposition research firm for the entire right.
Right.
And the media is playing that game. It used to be the media would kind of call balls and strikes, right? But now the media covering politics goes by the rules of a political campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
They're constantly campaigning.
Yes, and they have one go-to, and that's Media Matters. So they don't even have to get out of bed. They're waiting for them on their laptop, and then they just dress up, put a headline on it, and they send it out.
Yeah. And, you know, once it's in the press, then we end up talking about it. So we end up talking about stories on this panel that Media Matters created. They created a false story. New York Times prints it, and then they're talking about it on MSNBC, and it's like, oh, now we have to talk about it. So we're actually addressing it. It really works.
Yes.
It's very pernicious, Greg.
There you go. An endorsement from Tom Shalhoub.
You know what tomorrow's story is going to be, Greg?
What?
Greg Gutfeld fat shames big-boned writer.
Yeah, that is not body inclusive.
I hope that's the case. That's good. Up next, libs are shaking in their socks because Trump's healthy as an ox.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.